comes to your writer website, putting the right things on your writer website could be the difference between you landing a client and you not landing the client. And we don't want that one. We want to land the client. And so in today's video, I'm actually going to be sharing with you 5 things that need to be on your writer website starting right now so that you can land more clients, close more deals, make more money as a freelance writer. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the 5 things that should be on your writer website, and towards the end of this video I'm also going to share with you examples of what your writer website needs to look like. Okay, and apart from showing you my own website, I'm also going to show you the websites of 2 other writers that I've come to know through this line of work who I know are also killing it when it comes to freelance writing. So make sure you stay tuned for that part as well so that you can structure your website the right way. So I'm going to share each one of these things that should be on your website in the form of a question so that you can answer it. Okay, so the first thing is, who do you help? The moment I hit your website, I need to know who it is that you write for. Are you a personal finance writer? Are you a health writer? Are you a health and personal finance writer? Are you a writer for the e-commerce industry? The moment we hit your website, we need to know which group of people, who your ideal clientele is. Who do you help? So state that. That needs to be clear off the bat. And this ties into really knowing what your niche, or which niche you want to write in, or niches you want to write in. It's okay to have more than one niche. Even though I've talked about it in a few of the videos on this channel, like this one, you can write for 2 or 3 niches if you so desire, right? But you do have to be clear on your website who it is that you write for. So immediately we land on your website, let us know who you write for. Second thing that needs to be on there, right? You need to answer this question: how can you help this potential client? So you already clarified who you help. So let's say you're a health writer. As soon as people hit your website, they know that you're a health writer. So what exactly can you help them with? And this is where you can talk about the types of content that you can write for them. There are multiple types of content that you could write as a content writer. You could be writing blog posts. You could specialize in email newsletters. You could be writing white papers. You could be writing technical papers. So it's really important to state what it is that you write for people in that particular industry that you already identified. All right, so that's really important. So you have to put that there. I write blog posts, I write white papers, I write this kind of content for these people in this industry. The third thing is show your credibility. So you see, the first 2 things focus heavily on the clients and how you can help them, right? So in this third aspect, right, you really want to convince that potential client that you are the right person for the job. So this is where you need to show some credibility. And so you may talk about the fact that you've been writing for this industry for the past 12 months. You may talk about the fact that you've worked in that industry for 10 years. So on my website, which I'm going to be showing you, I have a place in there where I say I've been working in the healthcare and biomedical science industry for the last 10 years. And this immediately qualifies me, or gives me credibility as a writer in the healthcare world, because I do have the educational background and I've had a decade of that experience. So whatever experience you have, it doesn't matter even if it's 6 months or if you've just written 10 articles. Immediately the person knows that, okay, I'm the right person that this person writes for. They can give me the right kind of content, but why should I trust them? You need to put in some credibility factor that makes you qualified to be hired as a writer. All right, and it has nothing, mine was my education. It has nothing to do with education per se. It has everything to do with what experience do you have? So I really want you to sit down and think, because for newer freelance writers, this may be a little hard because you may be thinking, oh my goodness, like I don't have any experience and so and so. But no, like think deeply. There is some experience you can pull out there, okay? And then once you have that, you can include that on the writer website. The fourth question is, do you have samples and let me see them? Okay, so the next thing you want to do is show this potential client that you have samples of the work that you say you can do. All right, and again, even if you haven't written for anybody, do you have a blog? Have you written on places like Medium or LinkedIn? Go ahead and link some of those articles to that particular page and use those as your samples. I even say sometimes that you can write it on a Word document, save it as a PDF, you can upload it to Google Drive, and then link it on the page. So there are so many ways, so many creative ways to create samples of your work, but it is going to be important for you to include samples on that write-up page or website. The fifth thing you want to do, a question you want to answer, is how do I get in touch with you? How does that potential client get in touch with you? This is where you're going to give your call to action. That call to action could be, okay, fill out this form and let us find a time to speak, or call me on this number, or email me at this email address. You need to have a way for people to get in touch with you if they are interested in working with you based on everything that they have seen so far. And so at this point, I want to show you those examples that I promised you at the beginning of this video, and show you how all the 5 elements I just discussed feature on these writers who I said are killing it, those people's websites. So this first website is taylorkathleen.co, and as soon as you come on her website, you can see that she is a personal finance writer. She states that specifically, okay? And then when you scroll down a little bit, you see a beautiful picture of her, and then she also tells you that she has 6 years of experience. So this is the credibility builder. So immediately we hit that website, we knew that she was a personal finance writer, so we knew exactly who she serves. We also found out what kind of content she creates, and she also told us, gave the credibility. She has 6 years of experience. She also has here, as we scroll down, you'll see past and present clients of that she has written for, and then she has links to clips or samples of her work, and then at the bottom of the page she has a form for people who want to reach out to her. So you see how all those 5 elements I just talked about were incorporated pretty seamlessly into Taylor's website. That's a good example to follow. The next website I'm going to show you is from Holly Johnson. Now, Holly Johnson, it really is a legend when it comes to freelance writing. And back in 2017, I bought her course, and that really set me on the upward trajectory when it comes to freelance writing. Okay, if you want to check out her course, you can check that. I'm going to leave a link below. But let's take a look at her website. Okay, if you look at her website, you'll see that she opens up with who she serves as well. She also happens to be a personal finance writer. She says right here that she writes on money, travel, and budgeting. And so she tells you exactly who she writes for and what kind of content she writes. Okay, she also states that she's written for places like Bankrate, Lending Tree, the Frugal Travel Guide. These are very popular websites in the personal finance space. So again, this is a credibility builder. Okay. We saw that on Taylor Kathleen's website also, where she had a list of people she had worked with or written for. Exactly. So those are also credibility builders. Okay. Then she gave samples of her work as well, and then a way for people to get in touch with her. So that was Holly's writer page. Now, Holly has a blog. Club Thrifty is her blog, and she has a page on the website where she has, you know, what I just showed you. And so you don't have to build out a full-blown website for your writing business. You definitely can do that. That's what Taylor had. But if you already have a blog, you could create just a page that has all these elements that I talked about. And the most important thing is that you give people a way to get in touch with you once you tell them who you serve, once you show them that you're credible, once you show them samples. You know, you want to give people a way to get in touch with you. So you can see that both in Taylor's case and in Holly's case, they incorporated all of these things that I talked about. Now, here's my own website, Nontra Health Writing, where I usually will send this along with my pitches to potential writing clients in the healthcare space. So at the very top, and I kept it super simple, at the very top I have a video I made with Powtoon. It's less than 2 minutes, and I talk about who I serve and how I can serve them. It's just a little extra thing that people can play, you know, with a little bit of personality. Then I talk about who I serve, what their pain points may be. I have a credibility builder in there as well. I talk about the fact that I have 10 plus years experience in the healthcare space. And then I give a call to action at the bottom with an email address and even a phone number. You don't have to put a phone number, but you know, if you wanted to, you could. So these 5 things, okay, there are many things that you could put on a writer website, okay, but I feel like all of those other things can easily become clutter. If you have these 5 things, if you can answer these 5 questions for your writer website, or your writer page, okay, you will have a very functional writer website that gets you the type of clients you want to get. If you'd like to watch more videos on freelance writing, check out these videos.